Good morning, children. Let's move over to the third part of an education in science. Now, children, do you remember what we had done in the previous session? Yes, children, we had talked about how the author Stephen Hawking was, unhappy about the state of affairs of science. He had said that science is taught in school in a dry and uninteresting manner. Children also learn by heart just to pass the examination. And also, he said that science is taught by way of equations, which is very hard and difficult for the children to understand. Yes, children. Now let's move on to the third part here. Shall we begin now, children? Okay, now here, scientists and engineers tend to express their ideas in the form of equations because they need to know the precise values of quantities. But for the rest of us, a qualitative grasp of scientific concepts is sufficient. And this can be conveyed by words and diagrams without the use of equations. So, we just said that in school, science is taught by way of equations, which is very difficult for children to understand. But scientists and engineers express their ideas by way of equations because they want to know the exact value of the quantity. They want to know the exact value of the quantities. But for the rest of us, a qualitative grasp of scientific concept is sufficient. But for the general public, it is not that. We don't need precise value of the quantities. But for us, it is just a qualitative. We just need to have a qualitative grasp of scientific concepts. It's just enough. Qualitative grasp of scientific concept is just enough for the public. And this can be conveyed by words and diagrams without the use of equations. So the writer feels that for the general public, a qualitative grasp of scientific concept is enough, and this can be conveyed by diagrams and words. There's no use of equations here. The science people learn in school can provide the basic framework. The author feels that the science that people learn in school will be able to provide a framework, a basic framework. But the rate of scientific progress is now so rapid that there are always new developments that have occurred since one was at school or university. But the rate of scientific progress is so rapid. Science is progressing in such a rapid manner that every day we come across newer and newer developments. And these developments are such that they take place in such a rapid manner that have occurred since one was at school or university. So every other day, science is making a drastic change. It is making a rapid progress, and every now and then we come across newer developments in the scientific field. I never learned about molecular biology or transistors at school. So the writer says here that when he was in school, he didn't learn about molecular biology or even transistors. But genetic engineering and computers are two of the developments most likely to change the way we live in the future. According to the author, there are certain developments which are surely going to change the way all of us live in the future, and that is genetic engineering and the computers. So The writer feels these are the two areas which are likely to change our lives in the coming years. Popular books and magazine articles about science can help to put across newer developments. So, popular books and magazine articles, okay, books which are very popular, as well as say magazines articles which come out in the magazine about science, about various aspects of science, can help us to know about newer developments, and these can be put across in these books and magazine articles. But even the most successful popular book is read by only a small proportion of the population. Okay, as the writer says, now new developments can be, read in many of the popular magazines and even articles or popular books. But the writer feels that even these successful books will be read only by a very small proportion of population. That is, there are very few people who are really interested in reading books. Only television can reach a truly mass audience. So, the only means of communication which will be able to reach a mass audience will be the television. So, television can reach a truly mass audience that will be able to convey these developments to the greater to majority, to the vast majority of the population. There are some very good science programs on television, but others present scientific wonders simply as magic. Now, on television, we do have some very good science programs, but certain others present scientific wonders simply as magic. So, but there are certain others which, present these scientific wonders just as if it is magic, without explaining them or showing how they fit into the framework of scientific ideas. So, these, you know, simply present scientific wonders as magic, and they do not explain to us or they do not show how these, can be, they are never able to explain to us how these developments takes place, or what actually fits into the framework of scientific ideas. Okay, so though there are some programs on television which are good, but most of them are simply not able to explain or show how they fit into this framework of scientific ideas. Producers of television science programs should realize that they have a responsibility to educate the public, not just entertain it. So, what is the job of television, of producers of television programs? Now, they should first of all, you know, just tell the public that science is not just about, creating wonders, because these producers have the responsibility of educating the public. Their main aim is to educate the public, and it is not just to entertain them. What are the science related issues that the public will have to make decisions on in the near future? So, there are various science related issues that the public should be aware of and which they have to make decisions in the near future. in the coming years or in the coming days, there are certain science-related issues which the public should make decisions. By far, the most urgent is that of nuclear weapons. So, according to the author, the most urgent decision, okay, the most important decision that the public needs to make is that which pertains to nuclear weapons. Other global problems, such as food supply or the greenhouse effect, are relatively slow acting. There are other decisions also which need to be tackled with. For example, there are global problems such as those connected with food supply or the greenhouse effect. But the author feels that they are slow acting, that it can be tackled or solved, you know, uh, which is not that very important as that of nuclear weapons. But a nuclear war could mean the end of all human life on Earth within days. So, the author feels that, you know, these two problems, like food supply or the greenhouse effect, are same problems which can be tackled at a later date or which are not that important. But the one which needs to be urgently tackled is that of the nuclear war. You know, nuclear weapons which lead to, nuclear war, and that again will result in the end of all human life on earth within days. So, what actually needs to be solved? What is the immediate decision that the public needs to make? That is of nuclear war, because it will result in the end of mankind within days. Now, children, let's move on to a comprehension passage. Okay, so here we start with scientists and engineers to population. Now let's move back. So I've taken it from here. Say scientists and engineers to. So till here it's population. Okay. Now the first question. What are the two developments which are most likely to change the way we live? So, children, we have the answer here. Now, look at this line. I never learnt about molecular biology or transistors at school, but genetic engineering and computers are two of the developments most likely to change the way we live in the future. So, your answer is genetic engineering and computers are two of the developments which are most likely to change the way we live. The second one, how do scientists and engineers express their ideas? Now, can you see it here? Scientists and engineers tend to express their ideas in the form of equations. So, what's the answer? Yes, children, it is scientists and engineers express their ideas in the form of equations. The third one, why do scientists and engineers express their ideas in the form of equations? So look again here. We have scientists and engineers tend to express their ideas in the form of equations because they need to know the precise values of quantities. So you got the answer? It is scientists and engineers express their ideas in the form of equations because they tend to know the precise values of quantities. So what's the answer? Scientists and engineers express their ideas in the form of equations because they need to know the precise values of quantities. What had the author Stephen Hawking never learned at school? Your answer is, look at the answer. I've never learned about molecular biology or transistors at school. Okay, so your answer is the author Stephen Hawking never learned about molecular biology or transistors at school. Next is, what can help us put across new developments? Okay, now look at the answer here. Popular books and magazine articles about science can help to put across new developments. So what's the answer, children? Popular books and magazine articles about science can help us put across new developments. Sixth one, give the noun forms of the following words from the passage. The first one is progressive. So you have the progressive is the adjective. So you are going to find out the noun form of this word from the passage. So from the passage we have the word progress. So progressive noun form is progress. Next is develop. Develop, yes children, what part of speech is that? Yes, it is a verb. So here develop, you're going to find out the noun form of that from the passage. It is development. Seventh one, I never learnt about molecular biology or transistors at school. Write the part of speech of the underlined words. Now, what are the underlined words here? It is biology and transistors. So, can you tell me the part of speech of biology? Yes, it is, children. It's a noun. And the second one, transistors. Again, children, transistors is noun. So, children, I suppose you've understood this part of the lesson. We'll move over to the fourth part in the next session. Till then, children, go through these lessons thoroughly and try, you have got your, there is also some assignments that I'll be sending along with this. So just finish it and you can submit it, children. Till then, thank you.